How's it going, everybody? My name is Absalom and welcome back to the All Collectibles walkthrough for Nioh 2. Now this is the first submission in the game. It is unlocked after you beat the Village of Cursed Blossoms, and this one is known as the Forest Veiled in Darkness. Now I definitely recommend playing this before you move on to the Beast Born of Smoke and Flames, because there are 2 collectibles in this one, but also you will be able to level up, and this is honestly a really good playground for just gathering as much XP as possible and getting leveled up so that you're ready to go on to the next mission. So now that you're ready, go over here and talk to Taki Cairo, and he is going to set you on your way. Now, I want to be very clear about this mission. There's only 3 areas that actually matter. The 2 collectibles, and then the 1 actual room that you have to complete this mission. Now, everything else in this mission is just countless enemies that you can use to level up. Because like I said, this is a great way to build XP. There is 2 shrines in this level, and you can just keep resetting the world and keep gathering as much XP. But anyways, the first collectible is found right here. If you break these mushrooms, and then next to this tree, you'll be able to collect the next Kodama. Now, this is one of 2 collectibles for this submission. I'm not going to show the entire area because there is quite a few little twists and turns, so I'm just going to show you the path to get both collectibles and then where to go for the finale of this mission. But you can totally explore this and loot and get as much stuff as you want. I'm just going to show you the more direct route. So from the starting point, you want to work your way down the left side of the map. It doesn't really matter how you get there, but you just want to stay as far left as possible. And so while you're working through the enemies, I also want to mention that there is a lot of the red and blue swords that are on the ground that you can use to either fight against somebody or summon someone to fight alongside of you. But there is a lot of them in this mission, and it's a great way to build the currency of the cups that you use to summon the red sword enemies on the ground. So this is a great way to just level up and also just stack resources, because this mission is just full of enemies. That's really all there is going on. There's no real storyline aspects as much as I'd like to think there is. It's just really just a bunch of enemies in a room, and you can use this to gather a bunch of resources, which you will definitely need for the next chapter. Alright, so once you kill those enemies, now you can make your way to the far left, and there's going to be a fork with 3 little paths. I would go to the far right first and kill this enemy, and you'll be able to snag a piece of loot over here at the top of the hill. And then once you come back, go to the far left and avoid going down the middle, because I'll show you a little trick here in just a second. Alright, so now that you've killed that guy, now you make your way up to this hill, and you'll be able to drop shot this guy instead of having to fight him. You can just absolutely destroy him right here and make it real simple for yourself, and then loot up with the piece on the ground. And now you're ready to find the second collectible, so you're going to have to go back to that pathway that hangs over the cliff and take out this final enemy that is lurking over here, in which case there's going to be a chest and then 1 more Kodama. So this level is also really good for meeting some of the newer kind of enemies. Like there's like one of everything in this area, so it's really good to get good at fighting everybody with a spear versus the other weapons. So that's a good place to do this as well. And here's the second Kodama, is next to this chest. It's kind of behind and tucked away, so go ahead and collect that. And now that is all the collectibles for the first submission in Nioh 2. So now it is up to you to loot up and get whatever you want to do, but I'm going to show you basically where you have to go to finish this mission, and I'm not going to really explore the world, because all it is just killing other enemies and looting up, so there's not really anything else to worry about. But I would just get like your skills leveled up and your actual level progressed as well, and make sure that you are probably like a level 7 or 8 before you go in and really fight this next part, because it is a little bit tricky if you haven't mastered the art of fighting the yokai and stuff like that. So alright, so now you want to make your way back to the yellow tree, or the yellow mushrooms on that tree where you picked up the first Kodama, and that is where the main mission is kind of going to take place. It's up here to the left, but you're going to want to clear out the last couple enemies. There's one over here hiding in the weeds, and then there's one up on the bridge, as well as 2 more on the far left side. So once you clear out this area, now you can start progressing your Daki Cups and using them to summon an enemy. But I would recommend at least fighting this this mini boss at least a few times to understand the moves. It is nothing that you haven't seen before, but it is a lot of enemies at once, so I would kind of go in there and see how it feels, and then maybe summon an enemy, since these cups are a little bit tedious to get. So make sure you're familiar with it before moving on. But once you've cleared all these enemies, then there is another shrine that you can go to a checkpoint right up here to the right, so I'll show you where that is. But I'm just clearing out the enemies real quick, so I'll pick up when I finish that up. Alright, so if you head over here, the second shrine is located right here, and you can use this to level up and just get ready for the mini boss fight that's coming up. And the mini boss fight's located just up the hill from the shrine. And at this point, I would also recommend, after getting familiar with the boss fight, then you can go and collect the cups by battling the red swords on the ground, and then you can use it to summon the blue swords to get ready. But like I said, I would just recommend getting familiar with the mini boss fight so you know the moves and everything, and just before you waste your cups, because those are a little bit harder to come by. So I would just get that all prepared for, and then once you're ready, drop down over here and you'll be able to go up this hill into the mini boss fight. Alright, so once you enter the arena, these 3 Gakis are going to spawn, and if you play it right, you can actually just spawn one at a time. However, if you get all of them to spawn in, I recommend killing the one on the hillside first, as this one chucks bombs at you, and it can actually just really hurt you pretty bad. So I recommend trying to fight the one at a time, because they only spawn if you get nearby the spawn location, so you can kind of just back off and play it safe like that. But once you kill these 3 Gakis, that's when a Inky is going to spawn in and be very angry with you. Now, as for fighting the Inkies, this is not too difficult of a fight. However, this arena makes this way harder than I think it should be, only because of the barrier mechanics. These trees and the walkway and everything else that's in this arena makes it very hard to move around. I actually died more times just fighting the barriers than I did the actual enemy, because there's like a barrier on each tree and everything, and you just get hung up, and it's very difficult to walk around, and I found it kind of very difficult to fight aggressively in this boss arena, mainly just because of the barriers, because that walkway will completely stop you and everything. So for this one, I just backed off and let my my teammate here take most of the damage, as you can see, and I don't know, that worked out pretty well. But if you want to fight aggressively, then you can use the R2 and circle ability during his attacks, and you'll block it. And if you time it right with him fighting your teammate, he'll actually be stunned, and then you can just deal a ton of damage. So that is one way to do it. I'm going to do that later on in chapter 2, but and I'll show you guys more about how to do that. But in this one, I just recommend staying off, because this arena is just really hard. But I also want to mention that tree in the middle there, after you kill this guy, you can rapid damage it. I think actually in this gameplay my teammate did it, but you can actually rapid damage it and collect the reward as well. It's not really a big deal, but it's up to you. But once you get that soul core, you are done with the mission. That is both collectibles, and that is everything for the first submission. My name is Absalom, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.